Her father was clearly the wealthiest man in town, yet he made her live a life poorer than a beggar's. Just when she thought she'd spend her entire life this way, her father's unexpected death left her with an enormous inheritance. That day, when she learned her uncle in Paris had committed suicide by shooting himself, she was too heartbroken to speak. But her father showed not a trace of sadness over his cousin's death. Instead, he planned to send his penniless nephew Jack away to distant India. Before leaving, he warned Eugenie not to tell Jack this news just yet. Soft-hearted Amy took Jack out for a walk, and along the way, Jack talked about his plans. But penniless as he was, he had no idea how to get started. He was too embarrassed to keep mooching off Eugenie's household. When Eugenie offered that she could help Jack, he instantly understood what she meant. Perhaps moved by this, he stepped forward and kissed Eugenie. And after learning she'd never left her hometown, he kept promising to take her to Paris, to see that place everyone talked about as having the most beautiful spring. But Amy knew full well her father would never allow her to leave. Sure enough, when the two returned from outside together, Grandet's face already showed displeasure as he scolded her for not finishing her chores and leaving the house. Then he called Jack alone into the kitchen and broke the terrible news of his father's suicide. He then urged Jack not to grieve too much, blaming his father for bringing shame on the family with his bankruptcy. Now that his father had chosen suicide while leaving behind massive debts, it was undoubtedly a humiliation piled upon humiliation. He then disregarded Jack's grief and announced he'd fund his journey out tomorrow to earn money. That night, Eugenie took out all the gold coins she'd accumulated over the years and gave them all to Jack so he wouldn't go hungry on the road. Jack had nothing to give in return, except to leave her his treasured portrait of his mother as an eternal keepsake. In the heat of the moment, the two forgot everything and embraced tightly, and Eugenie gave him her entire heart and soul. The next day, Jack left for India without a word, taking Eugenie's gold coins with him. When Grandet learned that Jack had set off for India alone, an ominous premonition made her vaguely uneasy. "Where are your gold coins? I invested them." "You're lying." After seeing the portrait of Jack's late mother on the cabinet, he furiously dragged his daughter to the church to make her confess properly and tell the truth. "I invested in him. You gave all the gold I earned from years of work to that useless man?" In his rage, he locked Eugenie in her room, where she could only eat hard, dry bread and drink ice-cold well water every day. For 2 whole months, she was confined like a prisoner in that cramped space. He complained daily that his wife hadn't raised their daughter properly. Eugenie's mother, consumed by guilt and self-reproach, fell ill and took to her bed. But to save money, Grandet refused to call a doctor for her. Even as his wife lay dying, Grandet didn't stay by her side. Instead, he went to find the notary. He did this simply to prevent his daughter from inheriting that portion of the estate after his wife's death. After holding the funeral for his wife, he hurriedly summoned the lawyer and, using his daughter's supposed inability to manage finances as an excuse, forced Eugenie to sign a document renouncing her inheritance of her mother's estate. After her mother's death, aside from mending clothes, she would just stare blankly out the window. She never imagined that her father would catch a cold and leave this world without warning. It wasn't until after her father's death that Eugenie learned from his lawyer just how vast her family's fortune actually was. She rightfully inherited her father's entire estate, and she also learned from the lawyer that Jack had already returned long ago, but was in Paris preparing to marry some count's daughter. Eugenie firmly believed Jack had his reasons. In the days that followed, she persisted in waiting for Jack. During this time, Eugenie rejected many gentlemen's marriage proposals. It wasn't until 7 years later that Eugenie finally received Jack's first letter.